My beloved one, I speak to you now, in this very moment. These words are not random. They are not an accident of timing. I have moved every detail so that this message would reach you exactly when you needed it most. Listen closely, for what I have promised you cannot be taken away, cannot be canceled, cannot be lost. If I said it, it will happen. If I declared it over your life, it is already on its way to you. Perhaps today you feel a deep emptiness inside. The dream you carried did not come to pass the way you hoped. The door that seemed so certain closed before you could walk through it. The answer you were waiting for did not arrive in time. And in the quiet of your heart, you have whispered the question, did I miss something? Did my prayers go unheard? My child, hear this truth with your whole spirit. You have not lost what I have for you. If it has not arrived yet, it is because the perfect time has not yet come. And if something was taken from you, it was never part of the path I have set for your life. Think of a seed placed gently into the ground. For days, for weeks, nothing seems to happen. The surface stays the same. Nothing changes that the eye can see. But underneath, in the hidden place, something is stirring. A root begins to reach downward. Life is making its way forward in secret. And when the moment is right, a small shoot breaks through the soil and rises toward the light. This is how my promises work in your life. You may see nothing right now. The waiting may ache, but underneath something is already growing. What is yours will come because I have already planted it in your future. Do not mistake the delay for abandonment. Do not let your heart whisper that because something has taken time, it will never come at all. Every tear you have cried, every night you have sighed into the darkness, every prayer you sent upward, I have gathered each one. I have kept them close, like treasures held in my hand. And in my time, I will turn them into answers you can hold. Maybe you lost something you loved deeply. A position, a relationship, a chance that seemed to slip through your fingers. You have asked yourself why it ended, why it did not work out, why the door shut so firmly. Today, I say to you, do not weep any longer over what I have closed. What I closed in love. What I removed to protect you. And what is coming toward you now is far greater than what you lost. Hear this clearly. What did not stay was never meant for you. But what truly belongs to you, nothing can hold back. This message did not reach you by chance. It is not simply words passing by. This is a reminder from my heart to yours. It is the confirmation you have been asking for. It is my voice saying, my child, rest now. I am in control. My plans do not fail. What is yours will come. My beloved, I am the one who searched for you in your lowest moment. I lifted you from the ground when no one else saw your tears. And I gave you strength when the world had already written you off. I am your provider. I breathed life into you. And even now, I am the reason there is bread on your table and breath in your chest. I chose you before the world began. Many begin to believe a lie, the lie that I have forgotten, that perhaps there is no promise meant for them, that life will always be the same struggle without reward. That is the heaviest part of waiting. It is not only the passing of time, but the fear that it may all be for nothing. If this is where you are standing today, I want you to know that you are not alone. Many who hear these words are walking through the same valley of questions, the same sleepless nights, the same hidden tears. You are not the only one who has felt close to giving up. And let me tell you something perhaps no one has told you. It is not wrong to grow weary. It is not a lack of faith to feel pain while you wait. You are human, and I know this. I see your tears, your thoughts, your exhaustion, and far from being pushed away by your weariness, I draw closer to hold you up. The real danger is mistaking delay for refusal. You may believe that because something has not yet come, I have said no. But that is not always true. What feels like silence is often simply not yet. and not yet is not punishment. It is protection. It is love in motion, a quiet movement where I am arranging every piece so that when what is yours arrives, it arrives complete, in peace, in fullness. Think of a child who longs for something, who asks again and again, who insists with all his heart. The parent does not refuse because they do not want to give it. They wait because the child is not yet ready, not yet strong enough, not yet prepared to carry that gift safely. This is how I am with you. What belongs to you, what is destined for your hands, will come when you are ready, when your life is aligned, when the moment is perfect. I know the question that rises in your heart. How much longer must I wait? Why does everything seem delayed? This is the struggle that hurts the most, watching the years pass while the dream feels frozen in place. But, hear me clearly. The waiting is not an empty pause. It is a place of training, where I shape your character and strengthen your spirit so that when the promise arrives, you will know how to hold it, how to carry it, and how to keep it close without losing it again. I know it is not easy. Waiting can wear down the mind. Comparison can steal your peace. Faith can feel like smoke slipping through your fingers. But here is the truth that stands firm. Even when your faith feels weak, I remain faithful. Even when your strength runs low, my promises do not bend. Even when tears fall night after night, my plan for you does not move. The waiting is not a punishment. It is a process. And though it aches, though it drags on, though it feels endless, that very waiting is proof that what you long for is real. And when it arrives, you will know without doubt that it was placed in your hands by me. Declare your amen if you believe this is true for you. My child, there is a quiet enemy that rises in the middle of the waiting. It does not always come with noise. It does not always announce itself with force. Sometimes it slips in softly, dressed as a passing thought, a comparison, a whisper that feels like your own voice, but is not. This enemy is called doubt, and its companions are fear and comparison. Doubt enters your mind when time keeps passing and the answer has not come. It says things like, "Did I forget you? What if it never arrives? What if all of this was only a wish that will never become real?" Slowly, without you even noticing, doubt begins to wear down your trust, the way rust eats away at metal. And the most dangerous part is that it does not only make you doubt the promise, it makes you doubt the one who made it. Fear is another enemy, and it often disguises itself as caution. But really it freezes you in place. Fear tells you that you will not be able to handle what is coming, that if the promise arrives you will not be ready, that if you try again, you will fail again. It is the thought that keeps you awake at night, whispering, "Do not try anymore. It is not worth it." Fear does something else too. It tries to erase your memory of everything good I have already done for you. So you forget the times I came through, the times I provided, the times I answered. And then there is comparison, a quiet but sharp blade. When you see someone else receive what you have been asking for, while you continue to wait, your heart can fill with a sadness that hides envy underneath. You begin to wonder why them and not me. What do they have that I do not? But comparison is poison because it steals your gratitude and feeds your frustration. It makes you forget that I deal with each person individually, that your timing is not their timing, and that what is meant for you carries your name, not anyone else's. The strategy of the enemy is simple. If he cannot stop the promise from coming, he will try to make you give up before it arrives. If he cannot prevent what I have planned, he will try to convince you that waiting is not worth it. His goal is for you to lay down your faith, to stop believing, because he knows that as long as you keep trusting, my plan keeps moving forward. You may have noticed that this battle often begins with your thoughts. One day you wake up with hope, and the next day discouragement creeps in. One day you say with confidence, "I believe this will happen." And the next day you wonder if it is even worth praying about anymore. That unsteadiness does not mean you are weak. It means you are in the middle of a real fight for your faith. And every real fight can be won when your weapon is the truth I have spoken. The shield of faith can put out every flaming arrow aimed at you. Not some. Every single one. Every doubt, every fear, every comparison, every thought of defeat can be extinguished by that shield. Faith is not simply a feeling. It is a decision. It is lifting that shield and saying, even if I see nothing, I will keep believing. Even if the waiting hurts, I will keep trusting. Even if my mind tells me otherwise, I choose to hold on to what I have spoken. This battle is real, and it is often fought in silence. No one around you may know what is happening inside, but your mind is wrestling between hope and despair, between trust and doubt, between faith and fear. And here's the truth. If you are in that fight today, it means your promise is real, and your future carries weight, because the enemy does not waste his strength on something empty. He only fights against what is valuable. So if you have felt attacked by thoughts of doubt, fear, and comparison, do not see it as a sign of defeat. See it instead as a sign that something significant is on its way. The enemy does not spend effort on what has no purpose. If the fight feels intense, it is because what I have prepared for you is too powerful to be allowed to slip away. Hear this clearly. Your negative thoughts do not decide your future. What decides your future is my word over your life. Fear cannot cancel the promise. Comparison cannot erase what I have written. Doubt cannot destroy what heaven has already declared. As long as you choose to hold on to faith, even while your heart trembles, even while you cry, even while you stumble, my plan for you will come to pass. So the answer is not to pretend the battle does not exist. The answer is to recognize it and to face it with the right weapons. When you recognize that those thoughts are not my voice, you can stop them before they put out your faith. And when you lift your shield, you put out every arrow, every lie, every whisper trying to pull you away from what is yours. Remember this, deep within your spirit. What is yours will come. But while it comes, there will be voices that try to convince you it is not worth the wait. Do not listen to them. Listen instead to the voice that has carried you this far, the voice that says, my child, I am not finished with you yet. I know the tears you have cried when no one was watching. I know the worries you carry quietly, the thoughts that keep you from resting at night. Whatever feels impossible to you remains entirely possible for me. Where others only see the problem, I see what they cannot. I see the situation pressing on your heart right now, the concern for your health, the financial pressure, the tension within your family, the fears you keep hidden, and the questions you bring to me when you are alone. I brought you to this moment, and if you need direction, peace, and clarity to face all of this, come closer to me now. Let my words speak to your heart, page by page, until you find what you need. My child, I want to walk with you now through a story that may feel like a mirror of your own life. It is the story of a young man who learned, in the most painful way, that what is meant for someone, even when it takes years, will arrive. When he was still young, I showed him in dreams that one day he would rise to a place of honor, a place where even those closest to him would one day look up to him with respect. Imagine the excitement of a young heart receiving a vision so great. But instead of celebrating with him, the people closest to him turned against him. They grew jealous, they betrayed him, and they sold him away as if he were nothing. What had felt like the beginning of a promise suddenly became the beginning of a long and painful valley. Perhaps you know what that feels like. Carrying a dream in your heart while facing betrayal, unfairness, or being forgotten by those who should have stood beside you. He was taken to a foreign land and sold into service in the house of a powerful official. There he worked with honesty and integrity, yet a lie was told against him, and he was thrown into prison. Think about that contradiction for a moment. He had been told he would be lifted up, yet his reality was a dark cell. In that place, in the cold and the silence, he must have asked himself, "Where are the dreams I was given? Was it all just imagination?" Many nights he likely wept quietly, the same way you may have wept, asking why the promise felt so impossibly far away. But here is the secret, my child. Even when he could not see it, I was working behind the scenes, preparing the stage for everything to come together. Years later, something unexpected changed everything. A ruler had dreams that no one could explain. And in that moment, someone remembered the forgotten prisoner who had a gift for understanding dreams. He was called from the prison straight into the palace, and in a single day he moved from being a forgotten captive to standing in a position of great authority. Do you understand what this means? What is meant for you, even if it takes time, will come. The dream given to that young man came true in full. Those who had betrayed him years earlier eventually stood before him, not knowing that the man with such authority was the very brother they had wronged. The promise was fulfilled exactly as it had been given, because what I promise never remains empty. This story is not in my words simply as something from the past. It is there to remind you that even if you feel today like you are living inside a prison of waiting, even if time feels like it will never move, even if everything around you seems to say otherwise, what I have spoken over your life has not been canceled. You may not see the process, but I have already prepared the moment when your prison becomes your palace. And he is not the only one. Think of the man who waited years to see his promised child arrive, holding on to hope long after it seemed impossible. Think of the shepherd boy who was anointed as future leader while still very young, yet had to walk through years of hardship, danger, and hiding before he ever sat in the place I had prepared for him. Think of the woman who wept bitterly because she could not have the child she longed for, until the day heaven opened and new life was given. A life that would go on to shape the story of an entire nation. In every one of these stories there was waiting. There was pain. There were moments when it seemed I had forgotten. But in every story, the promise came, and it came in a way so clear that no one could doubt it was my hand at work. Perhaps today you feel like that young man in the prison, like the one holding on to a promise that has not yet arrived, like the one hiding while the wait stretches on, like the woman pouring out her heart with nothing to show for it yet. Perhaps you are standing in a place where nothing makes sense and the pain feels heavier than the hope. But listen to me. Your story does not end in the waiting. Just as the promise came for them, it will come for you too. I do not lie, and my timing does not fail. Though the road may be filled with tears, the day will come when you see with your own eyes the fruit of everything you have endured. On that day, you will look back the way that young man did and say, "Now I understand why I had to go through all of that. I was being prepared for something far greater than I imagined." I want you to hold on to something today. Whatever you are walking through right now is not wasted. Whatever season of waiting you find yourself in is not empty. It is preparation. It is the quiet growing of roots before the visible rising of the tree. And just as it happened for those who came before you, it will happen for you, because what is yours will arrive carrying the mark of heaven in the exact moment you need it most. Declare your amen if you believe your story is still being written by my hand. My beloved, when the waiting feels long and faith feels like it is fading, you need more than words. You need spiritual practices that hold you steady, day after day. Because while the promise is on its way, your heart needs something to anchor to. I have given you tools that strengthen your inner life and remind you that you are never walking alone. The first tool is constant prayer. Prayer is not an empty ritual. It is breathing with your spirit. It is necessary to pray always and never lose heart. Prayer is like lighting a lamp in the middle of darkness. The situation may not change right away, but your heart does. In prayer, your burden becomes lighter, your spirit settles, and your faith is renewed. If you do not know what to say, simply speak to me as you would to someone who truly listens. Tell me what you feel, even your exhaustion, your pain, your doubts. I hear you, and I respond. Even a few honest words spoken quietly before you sleep or the moment you wake can shift the weight you have been carrying. The second tool is reading and reflecting on my word. You do not need to read pages and pages to be strengthened. Sometimes a single verse, held closely in your heart, can carry you through the hardest storm. Let the words settle into you slowly, not rushed, but absorbed, the way water soaks into dry ground. Carry one truth with you through your day, and let it return to your mind whenever worry tries to rise. The third tool is worship. Worship is not only about lifting your voice in song. It is about opening your heart and recognizing who I am, even before the answer arrives. Worship changes the atmosphere around you. When you lift your hands and say, "Even though I see nothing, I still honor you," your spirit rises above discouragement. Remember those who sang even while bound in chains, and how those chains broke as they worshipped. Worship opens doors that nothing else can open. It breaks loose what feels locked inside you. The fourth tool is spiritual stillness. Yes, stillness. Sometimes we believe that faith means making noise, but faith is also learning to listen. There was a time a prophet realized that my voice was not found in the wind, nor in the shaking of the earth, nor in the fire, but in a still, gentle whisper. Create pauses in your day. Quiet the noise around you for a few moments, set aside the distractions and the worries, and listen. In that stillness, I speak, and what I say brings peace to your soul. The fifth tool is writing down your faith. Write your prayers, your promises, your dreams. Write the vision and make it plain so that it can be read clearly. When you write down what I have spoken to you, you plant it firmly in your heart. And over time, as you watch those words come to life, your faith grows even stronger. Now, my child, listen closely, because there is something important I want to place before you. I ask you now to respond with an act of faith that reaches beyond words alone. Take what is in your hand, your provision, your seed, and place it upon the altar before me. As a farmer trusts the soil with precious grain, trust me with your sowing. Let your offering rise as a declaration that you serve a God who multiplies what is given in faith. Place your seed where your faith stands, and watch heaven respond. When a child cries out before sleep, when troubles surround a family, when a difficult diagnosis presses down on the heart, when there seems to be no answer left to search for, that is exactly the moment I draw closest. I am the one who said, "Do not be afraid, for this battle does not belong to you. It belongs to me." You were never meant to carry this weight by yourself. Do not wait until the difficulty grows heavier before you turn toward me. Come now, just as you are, and receive the peace I have already prepared for you. Perhaps reading a few verses softly, or singing a quiet song of worship, can become part of your rhythm. Do it with sincerity, because these small acts hold your heart steady during the wait. There is no need for grand gestures. A whispered thanks in the middle of an ordinary afternoon, a moment of stillness before you begin your work, a quiet song hummed under your breath while you walk. All of these reach me just as fully as the loudest prayer ever spoken. I do not measure your faith by its volume. I measure it by its sincerity. Remember this, my beloved, the promise is coming. But while it comes, you are not empty-handed. You are not without support. You are equipped with prayer, with my word, with worship, with stillness, and with the writing of your faith. All of this is a reminder that I am holding you through the waiting, and I will never let you fall. Even on the days when none of these feel possible, when your strength is gone and your words run dry, simply sitting in silence before me is enough. I see the effort. I honor the heart that keeps trying, even when trying looks like simply showing up. My child, there is something powerful about remembering a story already written in my word, showing how I move on behalf of those who wait on me. I want to remind you of a woman who carried a longing in her heart for years. a longing that seemed to have no answer. She wanted a child more than anything, and year after year, that desire remained unmet. Those around her had what she longed for, and their words, meant or not, became a source of deep pain. Each season brought the same grief, the same emptiness, the same unanswered prayer. She carried this ache quietly for a long time, until one day in the place of worship, she could no longer hold it in. She poured out her heart before me, weeping so deeply that her lips moved, but no sound came out. She made a vow in that moment that if I would remember her, she would dedicate what I gave her back to my purposes. A priest watching nearby saw her despair and spoke a blessing over her, telling her to go in peace, for the God of Israel would grant what she had asked. She rose from that place, and I want you to notice something important. Nothing was different in that moment, except one thing. Her heart was no longer heavy. She walked away in peace before the answer ever arrived, because she had finally placed the full weight of her longing into my hands. And in my time, I remembered her. The child she had longed for was given to her, and she named him in a way that would always remind her, and everyone after her, that I had heard. When the time came, she kept her word. She brought the child she had prayed for and gave him back to me, to be raised in my house, devoted to my purposes. And what I did with that one child changed the course of an entire nation. He became a voice that spoke for me to kings and to all of Israel for the rest of his life. I tell you this story, my child, not so you compare your years of waiting to hers, but so you understand the pattern of how I work. The years of asking were not wasted. The tears at the place of worship were not lost. The moment she surrendered her grief to me before she ever held what she had prayed for was the moment everything shifted. What I gave her was greater than what she imagined, because what I plant in faithful soil always grows beyond what was first asked. Perhaps what you carry is not a child. Perhaps it is healing, restoration, a door that has stayed closed, or a hope you have stopped speaking about out loud. But the lesson is the same. When you bring me your full heart, your tears, your years of asking, and you trust me with what comes next, I move. And what I bring forth from that surrender will be far greater than what you let go of. Perhaps your story is not about a child. Perhaps what you are waiting for is honest work, the restoration of a relationship, healing in your body, peace within those you love, or the answer to something you have carried quietly in your heart for years. But the lesson remains the same. When you learn to trust, when you keep walking in faith, when you place your worry into my hands, what is meant for you arrives. I want to ask you something now. What would happen if today you decided to wait the way she did? What would happen if, even while seeing nothing, you began to declare that what is yours will come? The transformation does not begin when the promise is fulfilled. It begins the moment you decide to believe that I have not forgotten you, even before you see anything change. There is a quiet kind of courage in choosing to trust again after disappointment. It would be easier in some ways to simply stop hoping, to protect your heart by expecting nothing. But I am not asking you to pretend the pain was not real. I am asking you to bring that very pain to me, and to let it become the soil where something new can grow. The same ground that once felt barren can become the place where life springs up again when it is placed in my hands. Hold on to this, my beloved. If I could change her story and give her what once seemed impossible, I can do the same for you. Your story is not finished, and what I have spoken over your life has not been forgotten. Trust me, because what is yours will come. Perhaps your heart now beats with more hope than it did before. You are learning that what is yours will come. You are understanding the waiting is not loss, but process. And in the stories of those who came before you, you are seeing how that same waiting gave way to a promise fulfilled. If you carry hope for something you have waited on for a long time, speak this with me now. I will not give up, for what is mine is coming. My beloved, faith is not something meant to stay locked away in silence. Faith is also something declared, something spoken aloud, something carried into the world around you. When you speak words of trust, even quietly, even only to yourself, you are opening a door for that truth to take root more deeply in your own heart. Think for a moment of someone, somewhere, who tonight feels close to giving up. Someone who cried before falling asleep, believing there was no way forward left for them. And in that very moment, the right word reaches them, exactly when they needed it most. That is how I work. A simple word, spoken in faith by one person, can become the lifeline for another. So today I invite you to speak this declaration over your own life. What is meant for me will come. Say it not only as a reminder for yourself, but as a banner of faith raised over your life. Let it be a quiet vow between us, a sign that you have decided to keep believing even while you wait. Speak it in the morning before your day begins, and again in the evening when the day is done. Let it become a rhythm, something your spirit returns to without even thinking. The way breath returns again and again without effort. And as you do, think also of those you carry in your heart, those you love, those who are struggling in silence, those who may never ask for prayer out loud, but who need it just as much as you do. Speak this same hope over them too. When you do, you are not just praying for yourself. You are becoming part of something larger, a quiet network of people across many places, all believing the same truth at the same time, lifting each other even without knowing each other's names. There is something powerful about a community bound together in faith, even when that community is unseen, even when it is made up of people scattered across many places, who will never meet face to face. Each person who chooses to believe adds strength to those around them. None of you carry the weight alone. Even in your quietest moment, even when it feels like no one understands what you are going through, you are joined to others, walking a similar road. And together, that quiet strength becomes something far greater than any one person could carry alone. I want you to understand something about the small things. A quiet prayer whispered under your breath. A moment where you choose to encourage someone instead of staying silent. A simple word of hope shared with someone who is struggling. These things may feel small to you, but to me, they are never small. I use what looks ordinary to accomplish what looks impossible. Your small act of faith today may be the very thing that helps someone else hold on for one more day. So do not stay quiet with what I have placed in your heart. When you feel led to encourage someone, do it. When you feel led to pray for someone by name, do it. When you sense that a word of comfort could lift a heavy heart, speak it. These actions are not mechanical. They are spiritual. Every time you choose to extend hope to another person, you are saying, I believe, I trust, I am waiting, and I want others to receive this same hope too. My beloved, do not underestimate what feels small. I use the small to release the great. A simple act of kindness, an honest prayer, a quiet word of encouragement. These can be the very difference in someone's life on the very day they needed it most. The world rarely notices these quiet moments, but I do, and I treasure every one of them. Look honestly at the weight of waiting you have carried. Face the reality of the enemy that steals hope. Remember the tools I gave you to remain steady. The prayer, the word, the worship, the stillness, and the writing of your faith. Carry with you a certainty that should never leave your heart, not for one single day. I have not forgotten you. What is yours will come. Perhaps right now you see nothing. Perhaps everything around you feels like a desert and your spirit feels tired. But listen carefully, because these are not simply human words. These are promises that move across time and distance to reach exactly where you are. The thoughts I have toward you are thoughts of peace, not of harm. Plans to give you the future you are hoping for. I already know the outcome of what you are waiting for. For me, there is no confusion, no delay, no uncertainty. My calendar does not fail. My plans do not change. My faithfulness does not run out. And when what I have prepared for you arrives, you will understand that every tear, every silence, every sleepless night was part of the road that led to your breakthrough. I want you to hold this truth deep in your spirit. What is meant for you carries your name. It cannot belong to someone else. It cannot be stolen. It cannot be canceled. It is kept safe in my hands, waiting for the perfect moment to be revealed. And when it happens, there will be no doubt about where it came from. My precious one, hear me now with more than just your ears. Let your spirit truly receive what I am sharing with you. Deep within you, there's a knowing that always recognizes truth, no matter how loud the world around you becomes. My voice is not something that passes quickly. It is a steady presence that has surrounded you long before you ever realized you were searching for it. What may look to you like scattered, unconnected moments are, to me, always woven together with purpose. Every part of your life is held within an understanding that spans from beginning to end. Even before you took your first breath, I knew you completely. This is the very foundation holding you steady in this moment. Perhaps you once thought your days were ordinary, unremarkable, nothing worth noticing. But I tell you, even in the quietest of times, there has been a message meant for you. I do not always announce myself with great signs. Instead, I speak through a gentle stirring within your spirit, a quiet prompting that may be hard to explain with reason alone. This is how I reach you, the same way a soft whisper once reached someone listening long ago, rather than through storms, or shaking ground, or consuming fire. You are learning to recognize me not through grand spectacle, but through the quiet awareness of a spirit that is waking up. Know this, my beloved child, your being here is not an accident. This moment between us was set in place long before time as you know it began, in a bond where nothing stands between us. We meet here in honest, open truth. I am leading you out of the dimness of doubt and into the clear light of understanding. You are becoming someone who no longer simply searches, but someone I have specifically called by name. Think of a young servant long ago, resting in a quiet place, who heard a voice calling but mistook it for someone else speaking. It was only when he responded, "Here I am," that he truly understood what was happening. I'm doing something similar within you now. There have been times when you credited what you felt to circumstance, to your own emotions, or to other people. But I am sharpening your awareness so that you can clearly separate my voice from everything else, trying to speak into your life. Your arrival into this life was never meant to be hollow repetition, the same routine over and over with no meaning. You were stirred for a purpose, already prepared and waiting. I did not bring you this far, only to leave you lost. I brought you into a current I have already made ready for you. You are here for a reason. Even now, this bond between us is no longer just an idea. It is a truth unfolding within your spirit, like something once hidden slowly being brought into the light, one piece at a time. I do not speak to you from far away. I speak exactly where you stand, in the stillness you once believed was empty. But true quiet never means I am absent. More often, it is the very space I prepare so that what I want to say can be received with greater clarity. As you begin to understand this, what once confused you will become a marker pointing the way forward. My invitation to you is not to step back from your life, but to step fully into it, alive and awake. You will no longer move through life wondering, do I truly belong here? Instead, you will carry the quiet certainty, I have always been here, held and known. From this place of understanding, the way you live, the way you speak, and the way you carry yourself will begin to change. This is not about becoming someone else. It is about stepping fully into who you already are. Let your spirit rest more deeply, my beloved. In that rest, I am changing the way you see yourself. You are not forgotten. You are not stuck. You are not lost. You are being led toward the exact moment of your awakening. My precious child, continue on your journey, not with hesitation, but with the assurance that I knew you long before you ever began searching for me. Now that these words have found a place within you, let this not be a brief moment that fades, but the beginning of a new way of living, where you no longer search for my voice, but rest within its constant presence. Do not be quick to call the changes happening inside you strange or wrong. I see every subtle shift within your spirit, and I promise you, nothing is falling apart. Old layers are simply being removed, so that something new can be placed securely within the design I have for you. Some changes shake what is seen and what is unseen, not to destroy, but to protect what is lasting and to clear away what no longer fits. A deep change is unfolding within you, something your everyday thinking cannot fully grasp. But a spirit awakened by me begins to perceive it. There may be times you feel without direction, as though what once gave you stability has loosened its hold. But I tell you, this is not a sign that something is failing. It is proof that you are being led into a deeper way of seeing. Understand this. I am bringing forth something new, and it is already appearing. Can you sense it? This is not a season of small adjustments, but a deep renewal from the inside out. You are not falling apart, my precious one. You are being made new. You are not being misled. You are being placed exactly where you belong. And these inner shifts are not meant to make you stumble, but to settle you on a foundation that will not move. Let your spirit find its peace now, and stop resisting what is moving within you. I know there are moments you want to pull back, when you wonder if what you feel is real or only imagination. But I promise you, this is not something you have created on your own. This awakening comes from the one who knew you long before you knew yourself. Long ago, before your life even began, you were set apart for a singular purpose, and that purpose stands firm, untouched by time or by the dimness of human doubt. I sense your hesitation. You fear you are not enough, that your path is somehow wrong, that this deep stirring is only a passing feeling. But I speak to you now with unwavering truth. What I have spoken is true, and you are not walking through an empty dream. When my words touch your spirit, it responds, not out of fear, but out of an ancient knowing, the memory of the one who shaped it from its very beginning. There may be moments when tears come without a clear reason. That is your spirit remembering what your mind has forgotten. This is a holy remembering, awakening within you. You may wonder why now. And I answer, with the perfect rhythm of timing that only I can see. The season is ready. This is no longer a time of quiet waiting, but a time of revealing. Everything you held on to faithfully through the quiet years was never wasted. It was the deep growth of your inner strength. And now, as new currents begin to move, I have no concern that you will be shaken loose, because I have already anchored you more deeply than anything visible could ever measure. Your inner strength, like a deep and steady river, will not run dry. Everything you put your hand to will flourish, a true reflection of who you are within the new path I have begun for you. My beloved child, allow your heart to receive peace. Let the heaviness lift. Let the confusion settle. Let the waiting come to its end. I am your guide, and I do not fail. The way ahead is clear. My presence is your peace. Walk forward now, releasing what no longer serves you, and step fully into what I have prepared for you. The shadows are passing, and a new day has begun. Walk now in the light of this new beginning. It is a light that never fades, and a warmth that never ends. You are closer than you think, and I am with you every step of the way. Declare your Amen, and walk forward in peace, for I am with you always.
We run on viewer support only. For exclusive member-only content, scan the QR or see the pinned comment. God bless you.